And of course, father teach me like my religion, father teach me discipline, rules, and number one things, it was respect.
There's the tap!
Am I safe though, or is there still a chance that there's danger for me?
Tell brother, I can smash your face.
Who's the hardest puncher with you that you felt that you said this was a good punch?
This is mental game. This is not only about your skills. You have to be 100% with your mental and skills. When everything come together and you're not old, when you're 32 years old, your skills is good, your mental is good, everything come together, then you can shine. Because if you are not ready to sacrifice everything, even 1%, it have to be like 100%, you have to be focused to become world champion. If you're working every day like 6 hours and you wanna train like 4-5 hours and you have to sleep, eat, like a lot of things, you know. Like between trainings, you have to train, after sleep, then nighttime you come again train. You know, it's like there is so many things you cannot do. And one of the things, like what father always told me, you don't need to work. You don't need to, just stay focused, train, and your time gonna come. You don't need to. I remember like when I was 18, 19, I'm like, father, I'm like a little bit shy to you ask money all the time because I'm not kid anymore. Like why you need money? For what? You have house, you have food, this is money for you to go training and come back, sleep, train, eat, repeat. Why you have to work? Like, stay focused, your time gonna come. It's like about me, like all my life, I have schedule, you know. I have rules, I have discipline, and for me it's all about numbers, you know. I have to do most of them, like all things, like on time. Like you have to wake up on like 6, 7, you have to train, after you come home, breakfast, go school, come back, do homework, train, come back, eat, sleep, repeat. It's like this. You know, like a lot of people think like to become world champion, to become the best in the world, it's not easy things, you know. You have to be like you have to be focused on all your life. It's like, it's about sacrifice, like about 30 years. Like next month I'm gonna be like 35. I find myself on mats when I was like 3, 4, I don't remember like exactly what, but I beginning work on the mats because when we was living in village, my father opened first gym in our house, and he begin train like guys from village, you know. I was like 3 or 4 years, and since that time, like all my life I was training by my father, and no day off, you know. I remember like all my life I was in the gym, and from that point, like and of course father teach me like my religion, father teach me discipline, rules, and number one things, it was respect. You have to respect gym, you have to respect coaches, you have to respect your sparring partners, you have to respect all people. You cannot fight in the street because you know how to hurt people. It was like all about respect, you know. I grew up with my brothers, and they all was training, and I have big support always. But anyways, you know, like when you fight alone, and it was like big experience to growing in Dagestan, like between like 13 and 20th. I remember it was like too much fight in street. And when I was like 17 or 18, like I realized I can really hurt people. And I remember like father told me like, you cannot fight in street because I teach you all life how to become world champion. And when you become 18, 19, when you can hurt people, you have to control yourself. It's very dangerous. This is almost same thing like gun. You have gun and you have to control yourself. It's like when just since like first day I signed in UFC, like in my mind I was UFC champion. Like it was no way somebody can stop me. And father always told me only one thing can stop you, if like I think it's like lucky punch. Otherwise, if you're not gonna stop train like you train now, if you're gonna still focus, I don't think somebody can stop you, because you can wrestle, you can punch, you can do all these things all night. You know, you have good conditioning, you have big heart. I think you can become world champion. Just you have to be focused. Not only just he say, I truly believe this too. You know, it's like I was inside my heart. I was I was competitive. Like even now, even I still I believe I can beat like anybody in the world. Even now, I'm not old. A lot of people forget about why I retired. Not because I become old. It was because I lost my father because he passed away, and I don't want to do this without him. And that's why I stopped. Not because I become old. Many people, they train like 10, 15, 20 years. They have good skills. They know how to wrestle, punch, kick, everything. But inside, they are not warriors. They are professional, but they are not warriors. You know, when you're professional and you inside your heart you are a warrior, these kind of people can become champions and defend their title, like being the best in the world. You know, it's like in fighting game there is levels. They have levels for sure. Like for example, on this arena, I was 23 years old. And I have only one fight in UFC, and it was my second time in my life I see cage, because when I was competing in Russia, it was no cage, it was ring, and I was fighting versus 29 years old, 14 ranked in the world. He have 17 fights in UFC, and one of the best. He was one of the best of that time. I was fighting with Gleison Tibau, and it was like very tough fight for me. I win like unanimous decision, but this fight bring me on different level because I compete with him. We share cage together, and I beat him. I become on another level, and every fight can bring you on another level. If you between fights gonna learn. If you between fights non-stop and train. This is, I talk about experience, but there is one more things, like about your mental toughness. Because when you go to the cage, you have so many emotional come same time on your head. Every emotional, they have separate places, but if everything come on your mind, and this can make you weak, this can make you break, make you strong, you know? It's like these things, big difference between regular fighters and champions, you know. And for example, it was 2012 here, and after 6 years I fight neighbor in neighbor arena, T-Mobile Arena. It was biggest fight in UFC history, like billions people watch, and it was like big pressure. This guy, like you say, he was talk too much.
You're talking about Conor.
Yes, I talk about Conor, yeah. And it was like very big fight, and it was like big pressure on me. And I remember when I was talking with my father, and he told me, hey, remember, you know how people make diamonds? Diamonds make it under big pressure. If you can handle this pressure, you're gonna become diamond. But if you lose, you're gonna be loser. Just be careful. You have to understand. You have to understand what you want. When time comes, you have to shine. And it was very good advice for me. I remember, because I handled this. And but I was cornering a lot of guys. I see a lot of fights, and I can say like a lot of guys, they broke before they come to the cage. Broke. But inside the gym, they are like beasts. But when time comes, when you go to the arena, when 16,000, 20,000 people look at you, you cannot shine, because they cannot deal with the emotion. You know, it's very hard to control, because so many things come same time on your head.
How do you deal with it?
You know, I cannot say like exactly the way how I deal with this. Like, I think you have to born with this. This is what I think.
You think so?
You can train yourself. You can have like, you can become like experienced fighter, train yourself, everything. But if you don't have like this mentality, like somebody gonna break you.
Yeah. Was
Because I'm human too. Everybody make mistake, you know. But this choke, it was not mistake. It was my plan. Make him tired and choke him out. This is what I told them. I'm gonna bring you to the deep ocean.